This is a continuation of the series that I've been holding concerning the skilled Australian migration visa. So the skilled Australian migration visa. I said to you in the previous video, I outlined 5 stages, 5 steps that you need to take for you to be able to get a skilled visa in Australia, meaning that you can get your permanent residency visa or your skilled regional visa. And that is visa 190 and visa 491 and visa 186, depending on the ones that you qualified for. And I began to share that there are 5 steps for you to be able to get those visas. Now, number one is this: you have to be able to do what we call the general eligibility criteria. General eligibility criteria. You need to be able to understand that the Australian migration system is a point-based system, meaning that they are looking forward to you having at least 65 points, minimum of 65 points, for you to be able to be considered for nomination by an Australian state. Today, I'll be discussing in depth on general eligibility, so that you can know if you can proceed with this particular visa pathway when it comes to Australian migration. All right, so let's get it started. Number one is that this is a point-based system, as I've mentioned, and it requires at least 65 points. Now, I'm going to be talking about what will give you that 65 minimum of that 65 points, because we're discussing about all the indices, all the eligibility criteria that will lead to you having at least minimum of 65 points, meaning that you can even get higher points. You can even get 75 points. You can even get 80 points. You can even get 90 points. You can even get 100 points. But depending on some of the factors that I've been mentioning. Number one is that you need to be able to understand your age. Age is a crucial factor. Let me tell you the truth. If you're at least 45 years of age, the points that was given for age, maximum points is about 30 points. Say you're 45 years of age, which is the maximum age that you can be able to apply for skilled migration in Australia. If you're more than 45 years of age, please do not consider this process. But even if you're 45 years of age and you are within that range, you will discover that you have a lower point because of how it is being graded. From 45 years downwards, the more younger you are, the more advantage you have concerning skilled migration. Number two is that I don't want to rush this video, so I'm taking my time. Number two is English proficiency. Whether you like it or not, I'll tell you guys the truth, I will always say the truth. Whether I like it or not, you must take an English test. You will have to prove that you are good in your English proficiency. There are 4 particular types of English that official Australian migration requires. Number one is your IELTS. IELTS academic, IELTS general, 2 of them are okay. Number 2, your PTE academics. Number 3, PTE academics. Number 3 is OET. OET, I've never done it before, so I can't say much about that. Number 4 is your TOEFL. Most people use it for US migrations. These 4 categories of English tests are being accepted in Australia. Please, for some of you who can take all those other stuff, please don't go and take it. These are the 4 words. Go to the immigration website, official one, you see it there. All right. So the next factor we'll consider that will help us create this point is what we call professional employment. All right. Professional employment. Professional employment simply means your years of experience. Professional years of experience, to say. Your professional years of experience is important because it also adds the points for your eligibility criteria. All right. So maybe some occupations or some state may require you to have at least 2 years experience, 3 years experience, 4 years experience, 1 year experience, depending on the state and depending on the occupation involved. All right. For example, as a medical lab scientist, one of the things that is required that you have to have at least 2 years experience for you to be able to proceed to the assessing authority to do your skill assessment. All right. So that's an example. The next one is another factor is the educational qualification. I can't stop saying this. You need to have an education. If you are talking about Australian skilled migration pathway, you need to be educated. You need to have educational qualification, a degree, a certificate to show that you went to school. Because most likely those things are it's gonna be graded. Not even likely, it is a sure thing, it's going to be graded. So you need to be able to show that you actually went to an institution, a place that you learn what you're doing. All right, it has its own points. If you have a master's degree, you have higher points. If you have a PhD, you have higher points. All right, now the last one but not the least is the occupation listing. Now, at the end of the day, after I've said all these things, make sure that your occupation is listed in the occupation list. All right, I'm going to be discussing about occupational list in depth in the next video because that is the second outline. But at the moment, you have to make sure that your occupation is listed in the occupation list. Let me say it again. This process will not help out after you have, or if you think all these things and your occupation is not in the occupation list. Now that is a big problem because you cannot proceed. But if your occupation is in the occupation list, congratulations. We'll see you in the next video. All right, take care of yourself and don't forget to share this video for people who will be interested in watching them and also for you as well. Take care of yourself.